Emma Raducanu went over 2 months without playing tennis this winter and only started hitting balls again barely 5 weeks before the Australian Open begins. Emma Raducanu has been warned she is risking the bruised bone on her right foot becoming a stress fracture, and that could yet sideline her for up to 12 weeks. The British no one has played just 3 matches since mid-October after cutting last season short due to illness and injury. 2 of those came this week at the Hobart International, a WTA 250 tournament at which Raducanu was a top seed, but only reached the quarterfinals before losing in straight sets to the world number 2 0-4 Taylor Preston. Her one win in Tasmania came against Camilo Osorio in the first round, before she received a bye in the second round because her scheduled opponent, Magdalena Freck, withdrew. The only other outing this year for Raducanu came while representing Great Britain at the United Cup. She lost to the former world number 3 Maria Sakkari in 3 sets a day after withdrawing from a match against the 2-time Australian Open champion Naomi Osaka. GB team captain Tim Henman said at the time that she struggled with her foot at the end of last year. Raducanu describes the problem as light bone bruising on her right foot. Leading athlete welfare expert Stephen Smith has told Tennis 365 about the risks of such an injury. He said, if she has to overload that, or has to put too much stress and strain on a bone bruise like that, the risk for that is like a stress fracture, and then we're talking like 8 to 12 weeks of time lost because of something like that. So I think that's a real precarious position that she's in, because she has to get the balance right of how much is too much that she turns this bone bruising into a stress fracture, and how much is enough to be able to get a base to be able to play your season. And that's a really an enviable position that she's in. But going to a tournament like the Australian Open when you've had your entire preseason hampered by something like that, I think will be very challenging. Raducanu was due to practice in Melbourne on Friday morning after flying over from Hobart. However, Express Sport understands she is now instead scheduled to do so at 11 a.m. on Saturday. Smith explained the impact that a disrupted preseason can have on players. He said, I think you ask too much. You put too much stress and too much toll on your body when you don't have that foundational base that you need.